Sikhism. The teaching and philosophy of Guru Nanak form an important part of Indian philosophical thought. His philosophy consists of three basic elements: a leading uh, charis- charismatic personality, the Guru, ideology, Shahab, and organization, Sangat. Nanak evaluated and criticized the prevailing religion belief and attempted to establish a true religion which could lead to salvation. He repudiated ideal worship and didn't favor pilgrimage or nor accept to the theory of incarnation. He condemned formalized and ritualism. He laid emphasis on having a true guru for revelation. He advised people to follow the principles of conduct and worship, such truth, halal, lawful earning, care, wishing well of others, niyat, right intention, and service to the Lord. He denied the caste system and the inequality is caused the he argued that the caste and honor should be judged by acts or the deeds for individual. He laid stress on concepts such truth and naam, the base of the divine expression for him were formed by the sabd, the word guru, the divine precept, and hukum, the divine itself, himself with the people or the ruled through the Sikh guru, stress on equality. The society differentiation among the followers continued. It was only towards the end of the 7th century that Guru Gobind Singh recited the idea of equality in 1699. Guru created the Khalsa. The institution removed the Masons and as intermediaries. Thereafter, every Sikh was to have a direct link with Guru to create a sense of unity among the Sikh of Guru started some practice which were to be followed by Sikh. There were intuition through the bhavism of the double-edged sword, wearing uncut hair, carrying arms, adopting the epithet Singh as a part of the name. The idea of Guru Panth was another institution idea that emerged during this period. It uh, sensified the collection authority of the Khalsa Panth, which equated the Panth with homage to him. This gave rise to the idea that Guru and Sikh were interchangeable. This created a problem for the institution of the Sangat, that was a collection body of the Sikh in which God was said to be present. When Guru Gobind Singh administration the Pahul Amrit Chokha to him. With this, the differences between to Guru and Khalsa was symbolizing removed. Guru Gobind Singh is believed to have said the Khalsa is his own roop form. Guru Nanak was from the Khatri mercantile caste where his followers were mostly rural Jats. It was Guru Gobind Singh was in inaugurated the Khalsa among the Sikh. Guru Arjun compiled the Guru Granth Sahib. After the death of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru, the tradition of Guru ended. It was believed that the spirit of Guru didn't pass on to any successor but instead remained within the Sri Guru Guru Granth Sahib. Sanskrit literature and languages. Sanskrit literature. The medieval period witnessed the growth of a rich corpus of literature that accommodated the development of new knowledges. The conventional view among historians was that the patronage of the Sanskrit language had declined because the establishment of the Delhi Sultan led to the patronage of Persian, but this period witnessed the growth of rich corpus of Sanskrit literature. This period is marked with composition of particle work called the Kavya, poetical narrative, and the text that codified law called the Dharma Shastras. And during the first half of the medieval period, Sanskrit received patronage from the numerous smaller political establishments in central and South India. In Western India, Himachandra Shuri was an important Jain scholar who composed work in Sanskrit. He was Chaitanya. There were also made dramas written during the period. A few style of writing called the Champu also emerged during this period. It was a form that mixed both prose and poetry. Among the Sanskrit work that were written with the patronage of Rajput kings were their family histories like Prithvi Raj, like Prithvi Vijaya and Rajvinda. That was a biography of Sultan Muhammad Begara of Gujarat written by his court poet Udayaraj. Another important work was Khalhan uh, Rajtangini, which the second of Rajtangini was written by Jonarja, who wrote the history of his king of Kashmir from uh, Jashima to Sultan Jainuna Abidin, and the third was written by Shrivara, who wrote the history of reason till 1486. Apart from these there were the prohibited, which were semi-historical texts written during the period. After the 15th century, the patronage of the Sanskrit language was maintained in the southern courts of the rulers of the Vijayanagar, Naika of Tanjore, and chief of Tiravakor and Cochin. The various genres of Sanskrit literature, the like Mahakavya. The important writes of this period were Govind Dikshita, Sahitya Sudha, and of Naika, ruler of Vellore. Uh, Leela Dikshit, who was the minister in court of the Nayaka of Madurai, Charakravari, who was patronized by the ruler of Kochi Code. The historical kavyas gave a glimpse not just the exploits of the various rulers, but also glimpses of the social perceptions of the writer. Some of the Mughals like Dara Shukos also came to maintain in these kavya. The Mughal prince is also uh, uh, credited with the composition of Prasati in honor Nishmilla Saravati of Banaras. There were also a few works composed in the court of the rulers of Bijapur and Golconda, but Sanskrit literature during this period began to decline. Persian literature, with the establishment of Delhi Sultan, new language and literacy style was introduced into the subcontinent. The development of Persian literature in the subcontinent entered new era in the written of Amir Khusro. He was a poet born in a family of Turkish immigrants and began as a poet in region of Sultan Balban. He was he was a dis, he was a disciple of Nijamuddin Aulia and was patronized in the courts of Jalaluddin Khalji, Alauddin Khilji, and Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. He is said to have composed 99 works on different themes and numerous verses. Poetry. His poetry was written in the different form of lyrics, code, uh, epics, and elegy. His writing style represent the first instant of Persian style, being Indian style. Among the important works composed by him are Multa ul Anwar, Shirain Kushru, Laila Majnu, and Ajia-e-Sikandari. These works were dedicated uh, called to Alauddin Khilji among his five divans Khajjals, the Tulfuf us Singor, Bakshat Nayakuddin, and Nihayat ul Kamal. He also wrote Mansavi narrative poems, which have been of great historical and literary value. Among these are the Qurad as Sa Dad Mitufa ul Ful, dealing with the military success of Jalaluddin Khilji, Tughlaq name describing Gayasuddin Tughlaq rise to power, and the Ghazni ul Futuhu giving an account of Alauddin Khilji conquest of the south. Among the order important Persian poet was Sheikh Nijamuddin Hasan, who was also one of the poet in the court of Alauddin Khilji. His ghazals emerged him and the title said the Hindustan. The court chronicle were an important feature of the literature during this period of the Delhi Sultan. Some important of these were Tabutit-e-Nashari by Minaz Ziaduddin Barani made the most important contribution to Persian literature during the period. The Turkish Firoz Shahi and the Fatwa-i Jahanindari are just his important works. The Sufi literature of the period developed a new form called the Malafuzud, that was in the form of a dialogue of the Sufi sons. The most famous of these was the Fawad ul Kuliya Aliya and Khair ul Majliya, containing the accordance of Silk Nirasuddin Muhammad Nama, book of the patronage by Sia, and Naqshbakshi was the first Persian translation of Sanskrit stories. The Mahabharata and the the Rajtarangini were also translated into Persian during this period. This number of translation of Sanskrit works into Persian grew during the reign of Firoz Tughlaq and Sikandar Lodi. Like that of Sultan, Persian also continued as the official language of the Mughal court. The Mughal rulers and princes also maintained a tradition of writing. The first Mughal Empire, Babur himself, a literary figure, wrote his memoirs in Turkish, which was subsequently translated into Persian by Abur Rahim Khan. Khanan Humayun composed a Persian divan. Prince Dara Sukoz wrote a biographical account of the Sufi Sant Mian Mir and his discipline in the Sakinut al-Awliya. He also wrote the Majmu and Barahin, uh, mingling of two oceans. There were a new journal of Persian literature known as the Sabd Hindi, the Indian style, created during this period of by the Persian poet visiting and living in a subcontinent. A writer like Faji, Urfi, Talib, Ganni, Kashmiri, and Badil were among those who benefited from the patronage they received from the Mughals. Among the important works of Fazi was Tabassukir of Al-Shab. He also authored many translations of Hindu religion book. Abul Rahim Khan Khana, a talented scholar and poet, lived during the reign of Akbar and Jahangir. Akbar patronized great scholar historian Abul Fazl. He is also to have maintained a library of more than 4,000 books. He is known for patronage he extended to many writers of the period. The Shah Jahan, the latter is said to have authored the Padmanshahnama. Persian literature in the south received patronage from the Adil Shahi rulers of Bijapur. Here, Malik of Golconda patronized poets like Muhammad Hussain Tabrizi. The development of Persian literature in the Mughal court played an important role and influenced of development and growth of regional literature. Languages like Punjabi, uh, Pashto, Sindhi, and Kashmiri were strongly influenced by Persian. Growth and development of regional languages. The growth of regional languages like Hindi, Bengali, Assami, Oriya, Marathi, and Gujarati during the medieval period was an important development. These languages can be traced to the 7th and 8th century when they seem to have broken away from their Prakrit base. In the south, Malayalam emerged as an independent language in the 14th century. The growth of these regional languages coincided with a growing regional sentiment and emergence of regional polities. This resulted in the decline of Sanskrit that was being replaced by Persian and some of these regional languages as medium through which the administrative machinery functioned. The rise of Bhakti movement and his propagations using these languages also enabled the growth and development of these languages. Hindi and Urdu, regional dialects like uh, like Braz Bhasha, Braj Bhasha, Haryanvi, and other dialects spoken in region around Delhi and Punjab influenced the development of Urdu during its formative state. The basic structure of the language consisted of Khari Boli, a mixture of various dialects spoken in region maintained ever. The language adapted the Persian script, Persian script and literary tradition. The word Urdu is of Turkish origin, referring to an army or camp. It seems to have been languages that emerged from the dialect spoken in the Turkish camp between officially and soldiers. Hindi is also to be languages out of which Urdu and Hindi eventually developed. The work of Amir Khusro was regarded to have laid the foundations of the languages. The use of languages the Deccan from the 14th century onward lead to a literary speech called the Deccani. The major centers writer of this tradition was Sayyid Banda Nawaz Ghiyasuddin, who was an important Sufi in the Bahmani kingdom. The Sultan of Bijapur, Ibrahim Adil Shah II himself, was a great patronage and author of a book on music in Dakkini language. Hindi evolved during the Ab- Abrana stage between the 7th and 8th century and the 14th century. It was characteristic as Veer Kala, age of heroic poetry, or Adi Kala, early period. The various Rajput rulers patronized this poem written in the Rajasthani dialects of Hindi and that glorified Chiranavri and bravery. Among the famous work of Prithvi Raja, Raso of Chand Bardhai, and other poem like the uh, Vishal Deva Rasho and Hamir Rasho. The authenticity of many these works is doubted because of the various uh, interpolations made to the original craft. There are other works of Buddhism and Jains that can ascribe to this period. The development of Hindi languages underwent another transformation during the 14th and 15th century with the increasing use of language Bengali. The folk songs called Charyapads, composed between the 10th and 12th century, are the earliest spicemen of the Bengali language. The works of Kavindra and Sri Karandi are regarded to be among the important early works in Bengali. The growth of the Bhakti movement and the composition of various hymns associated with Chaitanya further provided a stimulus to be development of this language. वृंदावंस चैतन्य भगवत्ता और Chaitanya Mangal was one such contribution to Bengal is also regarded regarded as being reflective of the social condition prevailing at that time. The Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnananda Kaviraj was another important account. Lokans is associated with the introduction of a new style of folk song called Dhamli. Narrative poems called the Mangal Kavya also grew popular. During this period, they propagated the importance of local deities like Chandi and transformed Puranic gods like Shiva and Vishnu into household deities. The narrative form of the Mangal Kavya was divided from the Purans, Assam and Uriya. The 13th century works of Hima Saraswati, Prahalda Charita, and Haraguri Shamayada are regarded as the first work in Assamese. The literature in Assam also developed in response to the Bhakti movement. Sankaradeva, who introduced Vaishnavism in wrote the Bhakti Ratnavali, dealing with aspect of Bhakti and Bhagavad that depicted the life of Krishna in Vrindavan. There were also translation of the Purans into Assamese in Odisha. The work of Sarladhasha are regarded as the first work of Uriya literature. There were numerous kavya composed of Puranic themes of Madhusudana, Bhima, and Shashiva. The Rasa Kalol written during this period also deals on the theme of the love between Radha and Krishna. Other important works are the Ushalila Sisu Sankara Dash and the Rukmini Viva of Kartik Dasha. The work of Upendra Bhajwa 1670 to 1721 important as they assured a new era of Uriya literature in the succeeding period. Literature in South India. In the South, Viliputras was an important literary figure of the period. The tradition of using Sanskrit words and literary expression is ascribed to him. Other important work in Tamil are commentary written by Vaishnava scholars and also commentaries on work of the Sangam age like Tolpithyam and the Kural. There were also a number of philosophical works and commentaries that were written on the Purans. Many of the works in Tamil literature were related to Sivasm and Vaishnavism. Among the important work of medieval period was the Irushamya Vikram written by Haridasha the Sividharmantra and the Shiva Samyantri, both written by Marinbhandra. In the realm of philosophy, the notable works were the Kidambara 1508 by Purana Thirumalinathan, and the Palrithapuram by Balasubramanya Kaviyar. During this period, the most famous Telugu poet was Irapragya, who popularized the Champu uh, genre of literally written mixed from of verses and prose. He also translated the Bhagavad Purana into Telugu. The Vijayanagar ruler Krishna Deva Raya wrote the Amut Amuta Malyada in Telugu. The most celebrated poet in his court was Alarani Padana and Nandi Timma, who wrote the Parijanta Parana. Bhatti Murthy or Rana Raja Bhushan is known for the Vaishu Charita and the Harichandra Nalopakyanam that narrates the story of Nala and Raja Harishchandra. In the Kannada speaking region, Jain rites dominated the literary composition of the period. The works of Bhashava and his followers, who popularized the Vaishava movement in the region, also form an important aspect of Kannada literature. The patronage age of Hoysala rulers further helped the development of the language. The Vedic wrote work like the Trilokarna on cosmology, Ap- Apar Yasta on philosophy, and the Bhara, Bharati Vischarita, the story, the famous king Bharata. Malayalam emerged as an independent language during this period. The language was an oral uh, from and the earliest were composed in the 14th century was the Rama Charitam, the works of Panikar, who wrote Bharata Granth, Savitra, Mahatma, and the Bhagavatam are considered important in Malayalam. Music. Information on music of the Sultan period is limited. The important phase in the development of music during this period belongs to the time of Amir Khusro. It is during this period that the Qawwali style is said to have developed. He is also credited for the development of many modern rags like Ahman, Gora, and Sanam. He is credited with the creation of new musical instrument, the sitar, that was a combination of the Indian veena and Iranian tambaru. The Turks are credited with bringing music instruments like rabab and sarangi into South Asia. In Vrindavan, uh, Swami Haridas promoted music and is considered to have taught Tansin, who was at the court of Mughal Emperor Akbar. Tansin is regarded as an important exponent of Malahar, Mian Ki Todi, and Darwari. Raja Man Singh is also to have played an important role in the in the perfection of the Dhurupad style of Indian music. In the south, of system of rags known as Janaka and Janya rags existed during this period. The Swar Mela Kanandi by uh, Ramantya of Kondvidu, written in 1550, described 20 Janan and 64 Janya rags. By the 18th century. Several new forms of music like Tarana, Dadra, and Ghazal had come into existence. Painting. The development in painting during the Sultan period have not been studied uh, because of limited samples. The closest view that one has of murals in Sultan is to the numerous literary references. The earliest references to murals in an cuesta in phrase of Itumis, which describe the figure depicted upon the Shukender to the main arc that was raised to welcome the envoy of Khalif in another reference in the Turkish Firoz Shahi. There is references to the Sultan seeking to ban the tradition of figural painting on the walls of the places of Delhi. Quarin calligraphy also become popular across South Asia during this period. The earliest copy of Quran dated 1399 was written in Gwalior. The manuscript was decorated with a variety of ornamental motifs. By the 15th century, the kingdom of Gujarat, Malwa and Jaunpur emerged as important center of art. Painting in medieval India entered a new phase under the Mughal. The character of painting across North India. The Mughal painting are defined by the style and subject popular at the imperial court. The early origin of Mughal school of painting can be tracked to Kabul during the reign of Humayun. To Persian artists Mir Syed Ali and Abu Samad were patronized. Akbar deputed them to illustrate manuscript of Hamjanma. This manuscript of 1400 pages was compiled by artists drawn from Gwalior, Gujarat, Lahore, and Kashmir. It is during this period that many features of Mughal painting developed. Many painting of this period are collaborated efforts with two or even four painters working on one painting. Among the important features of the painting of this period are restricted movement of the figure, finances of lines, drawing, and flat depiction of architecture columns. The Mughal paintings are also marked with uh, naturalism and rhythm. The clothing of the objective assumed Indian form and the use of subsidiary skins in the background. The two most common theme in Mughal painting of this period are specific event in the court and the uh, portraits of leading personality. During the during the reign of Jahangir, there were other changes in the style of Mughal painting. The painting of the Jahangir period accentuated a formalized style and have broad margins which are well decorated with the depiction of flora and faces of a human figure. The not realistic representation met, um, matured during the design of Jahangir. The use of trees, birds, streams, and rivers in the backdrop of painting become very popular. There are interesting scenes of love and portraits uh, of women members attached to the royal court in Mughal painting of the Shah Jahan period, while painting of the Aurangzeb period provide glimpses of the Mughal Empire. During his campaign as in architecture, the Mughal painting also gave way to the growth and development of regional style that try to replicate the same feature and characteristic decorative design. Rajput painting that are also have to some same period consist of various different courts style corresponding to the various Rajput kingdoms. The Rajput painting during the 16th and 17th century used many representation of mythology and court scene. The Rajput painting are spread over a large geographical region with each region formatting a separate subtopic in artisan scheme. The other style that were popular were the regional style of the Deccan and the region of Bengal, Gujarat and Odisha. The Rajput painting further flourished in the 18th century when many of the artists shifted to the court of their new patrons. This also coincided with the emergence of many smaller regional style of paintings. These paintings are known. These paintings are known fall instantly of the colors that they use and depict hunting scenes, portraits of individual and of music session. The main style of this painting were the Muir, Bundi and the Krishna Girl School. Architecture. Architecture of the Delhi Sultan. New architecture from the and style were introduced in India during the medieval period. The arch and dome were new architecture additional of the period. The use of lime mortar in the construction of building and houses are alerted. The building techniques, the development of the true arch was important feature of the architecture style of this period. The a true arc required stones and bricks to be laid as vascular in the shape of the curve and bound together firmly by a good binding material. The architects were made in different shapes, but the dominant one was the pointed form. In the 14th century, a variant of the arc called the four-centered arc was introduced by the Tughlaq in their building. There are only a few instances of early Turkish building in the subcontinent where newly quarried material has been employed. In most of buildings of the period, the richly carved capitals, columns, and shafts of older building are reused. Stone has been used abundantly in masonry work of the period of this period. The material commonly used for plastering a building was gypsum. A partly lime plaster was reserved for places that needed to be secured against water leakage, as in roofs, canals, and drains. In later period, gypsum mortar become popular in building. Here we will provide you a brief account of medieval architecture during the Sultan and at Mughal and the regional style which developed in India during medieval period. The Sultan period. Monument like the Quatwal Islam Mosque 1198, Qutub Minar 1199 to 1235, Adani Din Ka Jonpara 1200 and Itumis Dog represent the early forms of Indo-Islamic architecture. The early buildings show sign of being worked upon by local craft. Meanwhile, the latter buildings show the development or the maturity of the Indo-Islamic style. In this monument, one can see the gradual development of dome and true arc. The best example of this are the tombs of Iltutmish 1233 to 34 and Balban 1287-88. The Alai Darwaja in the Qutub complex 1305 and the Jamad Khana Masjid and Nijamuddin 1325 are example of Khalji period. Here one's notice change remarked by the district influence of the Siluj architecture tradition. The employment of the two arcs shaped like a pointed horseshoe, the emergence of true dome, use of red sandstone and decorative marble reliefs, the emergence of the lotus bud shrine on the underside of the architecture style of Tughlaq period is represented with the use of stone rubbles as principal building material. The battering of walls and bastions, a new type of arc uh, called the four-centered arc, the emergence of pointed domes, and the introduction of an octagonal plan of tomb building. Another important feature of Tughlaq architecture was the battle or sloping walls. This gave the structure an effect of strength during the subsequent period. Numerous tombs were built using the octagonal plan, while others were built using the square plan. The architecture monument of the Sir can be divided into two periods. The first with building at Sararam 1530 to 40, like the tombs of Sher Shah father and Sher Shah himself. The second phase from 1540 to 45 is represented by a building like the Purana Quilla in Delhi and the Kwailai uh, Khuhana Masjid inside the Quilla. The slight flatness in the curve towards the crown is indicative of the last stage before the development of four center arc developed during the Mughal phase. Regional variation. During this period, there was a development of various regional architecture from in eastern India. There was the development of two district schools in Bengal and in Jaunpur. The most prominent building of the Bengal school belonged to the Malda district in the remains of the two cities, Gaur and Pandua. Here, there is an introduction of two important features. The first was the drop arc, which had span greater than its radius and center at the import level. The second was the method raising the roof, a system of arched bays were small domes supported by diagonally arranged brick pendities that help transition from a square to a circular base. Another development in this period was the transition from constructing a bamboo house to brick structure, during which a special form of curved roof developed. The best illustrations of the architecture style from Jaunpur or the Moscow. The style here bear a close resemble to the Tughlaq style. The use of the arc and the beam are notable features of this style. In Western India, the development of regional architecture form is notable in 14th century Gujarat. Here, there is a distinctive change is an art from the 14th into 15th century. In the former, there was a larger scale use building material from demonized temples, and in the latter, there is a development of a new style in which the layout of the mosque copied the architecture imprint of temples in central India. The development of new art form is noticeable in Malwa region. The cities of Dhar and Bandhu are illustration of this style. Another important reason that developed its district style was the Deccan, where the Bahmani kingdom created a very different architectural style compared to the northern architecture forms. The Deccan style developed with the fusion of the Tughlaq style from the north and the Iranian style. The development of the architectural style here coincide with the shifting of the kingdom capital from Gulbarga 1347 to Bidar 1425, and eventually to Golconda 1512. In the first phase in Gulbarga, the architectural style is representative of distinctive Islamic architecture that followed the Tughlaq style. In the second phase, there is an adaptation of the Iranian architecture style. This is comprised with the use of colored tiles, mural paintings, and a change in the shape of the domes. Another important recent development in Deccan was Vijayanagara art, the distinct style is best illustration using the architecture form in the city of Hampi. Beside places and temples, the city also had extension network of waterworks and public buildings such as Elephant stables and the Lotus Mahal. The unique feature of this style were the use of pillars for architecture and decorative purposes. The climax of temples architecture at Vijayanagar occurred under the Tuluva rulers. The architecture tradition was accomplished by a vibrant sculptural tradition that used many mythological features and narratives. The shrine on Hemukota Hill, Virupaksha temples, and the Hazara Rama temple are examples of Vijayanagar temple architecture. The architecture of Mughal Empire. The period of witnessed large-scale architecture activities that represented the peak of Islamic art in India. It was a period where there was a great exchange of ideas and style that led to creation of a style that was very different from the Sultan period and that had many features of local or regional style. The Mughal Emperor Akbar initiated the grand project that symbolized this period. Among the early structures of this period are two mosques built by Babur at Sambhal and Panipat in 1526. Babur is also credited with the laying out of gardens in Dholpur and Ram Beg and Jahra Beg at Agra. Two mosques, one at Agra and the other is Hisar, belong to the region of the second Mughal Emperor Humayun. The grandness of Mughal architecture began with the construction of Humayun tomb and it's designed by Miraq Mirza Ghias from Persia. He brought with him Persian and it's designed by Miraq Mirza Ghias from Persia. He brought with him Persian craftsmen to work on tomb. This tomb is the earliest specimen of the garden in closer and is raised and accredited in sandstone platform. The tomb is octagonal and crowdness of a high dome. The dome is double dome which is built in two layers were which provides the ceiling to interior of the building and the other which provides the outer layer that close the building. During the reign of Akbar, many indigenous styles were encouraged, leading to the common use of sandstone, the use of arcs, mainly in a decorative form, and the decoration that comprised mainly of boldly carved or inlaid pattern, complemented by brightly colored pattern on the interior. Among the important monumental project undertaken was building Among the important monumental projects undertaken was the building of Agra Fort. Within the fort were many structures that were built in the Gujarat and Bengal style, which were subsequently demolished by Shah Jahan, who remodeled the fort and its interior. The Jahangir Mahal coincides as a robust building in red sandstone is a fusion of Hindu and Islamic building is designed the composition of beam and bracket from the principal structure system. The same style are seen in the place fortress of Lahore and Allahabad. Mughal architecture under Akbar entered a new phase with construction of Fatehpur Sikri. The city place was built entirely of red sandstone between 1571 to 1585. The building could be studied under two categories, religion and secular. Among the religion building are the Jami Masjid and the Buland Darwaja and the tops of Sheikh Salim Chisti. The secular structure are the places administrative building and the other structure. The Jama Masjid use a typical plan of mosque with a central courtyard architecture on three sides and a domed skyline in the courtyard line the tomb of Salim Chisti. Among the places are building known as the Jodh Bai place, the Panch Mahal, the size of the five-story structure, and the demister as the one goes higher. The Diwan Khas is from building rectangle and two stories from outside the Diwani. Among the other buildings here are Hathi Pool and the Karkhana building. The important building of the region of Jahangir include the tomb of Akbar Sikandra and the tomb of Itmud ud Daula. The tomb at Sikandra is designed as a tomb enclosed enclosely enclosed by a garden. The tomb itself is three stories high, the first being an arched platform making the basement. The middle portion is in three tiers of red sandstone, while the highest one is made of white marble, which is open top with screen surrounding it. The tomb of Itman ud Daula, built in 1622 to 28, marks in a change in architecture style from the Akbari period. This enclosed tomb with a dome roof is enclosed with building marble trackery. Jahangir is also known to have laid the famous Mughal gardens in Kashmir. What you have learned: the medieval Indian culture represent the synthesis of Indian and Persian philosophy, literature, art, and architecture. In religion spheres, Sufism and Bhakti tradition influenced each other. They provided an opportunity for understanding religion tradition of Hindu and Muslim people level. The emergence of Urdu as a new language is a best simple example of interaction and synthesis. The same is visible in the area of music and painting. In the field of architecture, the form, style, and decoration take a lot from each other. The medieval period thus represented an important era of dramatical change in the world of religion and art in South Asia. The growing popularity of Sufism played an important role in the popular acceptability of Islam and in the course of establishment unique Islamic tradition in the subcontinent. The Bhakti movement played a similar role in the development of Hinduism. On one hand, is challenged existing religion and a social hierarchy, and one of the other it revival concept like monotheism is an mainstream Hindu tradition. Both the Sufi and Bhakti movement question the authority of the established clergy and the relevance of established religion due to impurity. While both emerged questioning established religion tradition, they eventually found themselves being interacted into established religion system. Another important development during the medieval period was the growth in vernacular literature. Growing reason identities help create new literary and art form. The growth in regional languages like Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, and Telugu was a very significant development. The popularity of translation further witnessed return and help in the exchange of idea. The exchange of idea also user new development in music. The use of sitar and new style of music further increased the medieval period. In the real rename the art of one witness the development of new style of painting associated with the patronage of the Mughal and the Rajput style, there was a change in the character and stylistic representation seen in earlier period. The synthesis of the medieval period is best seen in development of new architecture style, the large number of forts, places, temples, and mosques that can be dated to this period are example of new style. The use of decorative motifs and adoption of the dome are example of the architecture tradition of this period. Thank you, everyone.